I'm trying to find the word that best describes Detective Hercule Poirot's mustache. There has to be a word out there. Oh yes, I believe the word is... glorious! No, I won't give in till I'm victorious! Dale on the Orient Express, released in 2017, and is directed by Kenneth Branagh, who has also directed such films like Henry V, Much Ado About Nothing, Hamlet, Thor, Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit, and Cinderella. And this film has a huge-ass cast of Johnny Depp, Tom Bateman, Penelope Cruz, Willem Dafoe is in this thing, Judi Dench, Josh Gad, Derek Jacobi, Leslie Odom Jr., Daisy Ridley, Michelle Pfeiffer, and also Kenneth Branagh himself. And I'm talking about Murder on the Orient Express today because this weekend marks the release of the sequel to this film, Death on the Nile, and I'm looking to getting around to watching it sometime this weekend and publishing my review of it sometime next week. The year is 1934, and Detective Hercule Poirot is the greatest detective in the world. But he is looking to take a quality holiday for himself, so he is invited by a friend to board his famous Oriental Express for his trip. However, his holiday is cut short because after the first night on this train, one of the passengers is found murdered. And of course, because there is a murder, there must be a murderer, leaving every single passenger on this train as suspect. So the film follows Detective Poirot and his brilliant detective-isms in finding the culprit. I remember seeing previews for this film. I have never read the books of Agatha Christie, which I think there's like 30 or like 34 different novels dealing with this character and the same situation. My understanding is that this character is basically Sherlock Holmes, just Belgian French. And I also know that there have been a lot of adaptations of this book to film, to TV film, to radio shows, and things like that. But I have never seen or heard of any of them. So I went into this movie completely blind, not knowing anything, not knowing who this character is, not really knowing the writings of Agatha Christie at all. I'm just coming in looking for a good time, and by God, I found it. This character of Detective Poirot, I am so in. I am all in on this character. Give me all of the movies, give me all of the stories of this character. He is great. I just love who he is. He's a character who is cursed with knowledge and cursed of always seeing and analyzing something. Basically like Sherlock Holmes, in particular the Benedict Cumberbatch BBC television show, where they're always just constantly analyzing things. And they can't help it, they don't mean to. It's just that they see all of these imperfections all around the world. So you feel bad for this character. All he wants is just a nice little holiday to read his Dickens. But that gets cut short when Johnny Depp shows up murdered. But he shows up here. Michelle Pfeiffer is in this movie. Out of nowhere comes Willem Dafoe. This is one hell of a cast of characters. And they all have their own little quirks and tics and all have their own hidden agenda, all leading to them being a possible suspect as to who murdered this guy. So this is like watching a live-action movie of playing the board game of Clue, which I am all about. I love Clue. I love detective stories like this, where you're getting evidence and you're trying to figure out who did the thing or who did not do the thing. And it kept my interest all throughout. And I thought I had it pegged. Very early on. There were a couple of exchanges where I was like, it's them. It's probably going to be them. They're going to fake us out, but then it's going to turn out to be them. I know it. Of course, I was wrong. The ending definitely surprised me. I did not see that twist coming. Am I going to spoil it for you? No, of course not. Well, I mean, it's already been adapted several times before, and it's a book that came out a long time ago, so I'm sure people would have known the thing by now. But I won't spoil it if any of you out there are just like me, you're a layman and just going into the movie, just wanting a nice fun time, not knowing what the hell's going on. I love the aesthetic of this movie. I love the cinematography. The lighting design here is very, very vibrant, but yet very sophisticated. The dialogue was very intriguing. It kept this story going, which is saying a lot because we're just on a couple of train cars. I mean, that's it. That's the setting. That could be, and could very easily be, very, very boring to watch. You don't have a lot of things and places to go, but they managed to do so here, and it's actually very beautiful. And I have to give a shout out to Patrick Doyle, who composed the score for this film. That one, like, hit me in my bones. I don't know how or why, but the use of color with the music, it was stunning, and I loved listening to it. Leslie Odom Jr. is here, which makes me very happy because he's a famous Broadway star. You probably know him from the original cast of Hamilton Hamilton, he was Aaron Burr, sir. He didn't throw away his shot in that play, and I guess he didn't throw away his shot here. And Daisy Ridley, who shows up, which, I mean, what happened to her career? She was attached to these pretty big movies called Star Wars, and the fanboys just kind of crapped on all of those, and all of a sudden, she's nowhere to be found. So it's nice to see her in this film on screen, because she is a tremendous actress. Judi Dench commands the screen whenever she's on it, and Penelope Cruz, it took a little bit of me warming up to her character at first. I thought she was kind of overacting and just being very dramatic and soap opera-y. But as you get to know her and as she's able to free and loosen up her performance, I actually dug it. This movie is really all character-based, and it's a detective story, so you're going along with Detective Poirot, and you're finding all these clues, and you're acting as the detective yourself. And I love stories, I love movies that do that, so to watch this movie, I was having one hell of a time. Is it game-changing? Is it the greatest film ever made? No, of course not, but it's one hell of a fun, bombastic, very clever, and very intelligent ride that I recommend everyone checking out. I'm gonna give Murder on the Orient Express 4 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I like it a lot.
Alright everyone, as I said before, I'm hopefully going to be checking out Death on the Nile sometime this weekend, and if I'm able to, I will go ahead and get my review of that out on Monday, but if I'm not, I'll do a random generator and find a movie randomly on my shelf that I'll watch and put it out there for you. So guys, have you seen Murder on the Orient Express? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I'm releasing my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.